Hey y'all, it's Anna V, and you, my friend, are listening to the All-American Wing Shooting Podcast. I am a hunter, conservationist, mom of 2 girls I have raised in the outdoors, and a proud owner of a truck full of dogs. My passion is guiding you to confidence, sharing in tradition, and celebrating the true meaning of success in the field. Here we go. And welcome to another episode of All-American Wing Shooting Podcast. I have a super special guest today. Macie Page is here. She is a rock star shooter. We have only met online, but we have so many mutual friends. I saw her big win 2 weekends ago, and I was like, I want to hear from her. I want to hear about this journey. I want to get to know you, and I want us to make some plans for upcoming hunting season.
Yeah.
So welcome to the podcast, Macie.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. So you were saying that you've never recorded a podcast before.
No, I have not. This is my first time, so.
I was telling you about Madison Sharp. She reached out to me. It was a while back, like over a year and a half ago, maybe longer. And she was like, let's do an event together. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still cool. Like, your age group of girls coming up, y'all are so good. And she made me feel so special and like relevant still. And so I told you I fought to be her first podcast. And then Robbie over at Blood Origins beat me. And just with scheduling and stuff. But it was pretty funny. So I'm thrilled that you're making your podcast debut right here.
Yes, first time on your channel too.
Yay! Okay, so where's home for you?
Home is just outside of Dallas in Denton, Texas.
Oh, we do a lot in Texas. I come to Texas often, actually.
Yes.
That'll be so fun.
Yeah.
So, in Texas, is there a lot of police shooting? Because I thought that you were like the sporting clay girl.
No, I started in sporting clays, so that's kind of how I got introduced into shooting. Was a lot of sporting clays, a lot of NSCA and SCTP, and then Dallas Gun Club, which is about 25 minutes from me, has Halise, and so we became members out there. And my dad really wanted me to shoot Halise. He thought that I would really enjoy it, and Dallas is by far the closest. They have some. There's one in Wichita Falls. I actually am going there this weekend for a shoot, or Iowa Park. And then there's one in Austin, it's Austin Gun Club, but Lampasas. So I go there a lot to compete. And then there's small ones all over too, but those are definitely the 3 main ones where I go to compete. So I get to shoot. Dallas Gun Club's my home club, so I shoot there a lot.
Well, I love that there's so many powerhouse females coming up. This was our first year in SCTP. And really sold out. I started a team with my shooting coach like 8 years ago. And gosh, it has changed so much in 8 years. The growth, especially here in Georgia.
It's a lot. There's a lot of SCTP shooters.
Yeah, it was so exciting. So our youngest is 11. So she just finished her 5th grade year. So she was rookie.
Aww.
And it was so like... She's been around it for her whole life with me.
Right.
And this was the first year that she like stepped into her own. Before she started SCTP in February, she'd gone hunting, and it was the first year that she got to shoot and run her dog. I was like, okay, like I think she can handle everything. And so it was the biggest year of overcoming so many things that she's waited on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that wave comes in seasons, because you've kind of done the same thing.
Right, definitely. That's what I loved SCTP, and it has grown so much. I've kind of gotten to see, my team was super small. My high school, at the time when I shot it, I was in middle school. We couldn't have a team for a couple of different reasons. So I just was outside of a Fossil Point in Decatur. And then some of the people I shot with there, we were all on a team, and it's really grown a lot from when I started. And I mean, I was 12, so that was 8 years ago. And it has grown definitely a lot from now.
Yeah, so you and Tater took first place on the same weekend. And
that's so sweet.
Because Prairie Wildlife has been in my life since I started.
Okay.
In the shotgun world. And so Mr. Jimmy it's hard to replace him.
Right.
And the team there, Todd has really just like stepped up and taken charge in his new position. And Xavier is one of the funnest guys to shoot with, especially
Definitely.
for like new shooters. So I was like, man, I wanted to be there so bad, even though I'm not practiced up in Halise at all. I think we might have one field in the state of Georgia, unless it's a
Yes.
private field that I don't know
It's
about.
I haven't been to Georgia, but to that gun club yet, but there is one in Georgia. I
But you're,
believe it's Broxton Bridge, I believe.
I haven't even
I
heard
would
of
have to double check on that because I don't want to
it.
misspeak. But me and my dad have talked about how there is one in Georgia now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is so exciting. But I got introduced to that at Prairie Wildlife, and they are like the champions of Halise. So I should probably catch all the listeners up. Halise is a game that I feel combines like what I call the small field shooting games and like instinctual bird hunting.
Yes, definitely.
So you have what's similar to a trap,
Hmm.
and then you have 3 or 4 throwers.
You have 5 throwers.
Oh, it's 5 throwers. You
Hmm.
have so it's kind of set up like a baseball field too. So you have your 5 throwers, and then you have your out of bounds. So it'd be like past the wall. You got to shoot inside, right?
Hmm. Inside the fence.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is kind of like a knee wall. Like it's a short. It's not like a big chain link fence or anything. It's just a boundary per se.
Yes.
So you go up to your lane. Do you rotate lanes or do you stay in the same one, or is it that you start up close and then you back up?
For a registered Halise event, you're 26 meters back from the machines. So you start there and then you go up and you can it's called a crank for how many you shoot. So it kind of depends. Like Prairie Wildlife for Nationals, you shot 15 so you would go up and there was 3 rings and you would shoot 5 at that ring, and then you would move to the next one and you would shoot another 5 and you would shoot another 5. And that was like your crank. And then you had to wait for the crank to turn. So then you could go shoot your other 15 on the other 3 rings.
So where were the rings placed? Were they in a line with distance, or were
They're
they
right.
around the semicircle?
No, they're all just right next to each other. So it's just one long sidewalk, and if you veer off, then you're at ring 1, ring 2, ring 3. And then they had 6 rings all right in a row at Prairie Wildlife.
So that's wild. So the clay is not, it's not a normal clay. It's a plastic like fan with the wings that come out in a semicircle or in a circle. So you shoot it and sometimes like the center comes out. So
Yes.
it's a plastic thing. So when you call pull, all the machines go off, and then all of a sudden just one flies out of one of the machines, but you don't know which one,
Hmm.
and it flies like a crazy grouse or a
Yes.
woodcock. And I mean, people down south, of course, want to compare it to a quail, but I think sometimes it's a little crazier.
I've gotten some crazy targets. I was just out practicing yesterday, and I mean, the wind was going, and the wind's definitely a big factor in that game because the wind catches a target and it's a totally different target than it normally would be. But you definitely can get some targets. Sometimes they'll stay behind the box the whole time, and I mean, you won't see it till it's at the fence, and that's a good bird as long as it doesn't change directions if
Oh,
it hits
because
the
it
ground.
doesn't catch height. It just flies
Yes,
flat.
yes. So sometimes you can get them, and I mean because each box has a flap. So right when you call pull, a flap goes about a half a second before, even less, and kind of indicating, okay, this is where it's coming from, and then the target releases. But sometimes you don't. I mean, sometimes the flap goes, and you're like, okay, where's the bird? And it's behind the box the whole time, and then you see it right when it's at the fence. Or I mean, you can get one that's way up in the air or driving across the whole field. I mean, there's no telling kind of what you're gonna get when you call pull.
So Purdy, I was traveling with Purdy when I was introduced to this thing. So when it first came out, which would have been like, I guess 2018, 2019 is really when everybody started talking about Halise. And it was really for like the retired gentlemen's club. Like that's really who they thought was going to shoot this, you know? So the growth that we saw in SCTP from when you started in middle school, which you're really young. Some people aren't going to watch this on video, but I'm sitting here thinking, okay, traveling with the Purdy crew and like seeing people order all their custom bespoke guns, and this game was really like targeted towards them. Wow is all I really can say seeing how it took off with the younger shooters. And I just recorded a podcast this week talking about the skill sets of the younger shooters. So I think originally the circle that I was around talked about how this game was really meant for top-notch shooters that wanted an extra challenge. And then to see you guys come in here right out of SCTV and you're like, I'm going to take the whole thing. Like, I'm here to win. And that is amazing. Like, I don't know if anybody ever saw that happening, that the younger kids would take on to this game.
Right. It is really cool. I mean, a lot of the people, even I went to Worlds last year and I was able to get second, and the kid that won first, I mean, I shoot with him in Dallas and he's younger than I am too. So it definitely was funny to see the two of us both being young and getting to see a lot of the younger kids too really enjoying it. Is really awesome to see the sport keep growing.
So let's talk about this aspect of it, because it's a really expensive game to play. I don't remember what the average clay cost is right now, but is it like 40 cents a clay or something? Maybe 70 cents a clay. Maybe it's not up to 70 yet. But I was told a few years back that a Halise target was like $3.
Yes, there is a price difference for sure. I mean, when you're comparing, you can go out and shoot 200 clay targets versus 30. But even for practice, I think it kind of is a little different. I don't go out and shoot 200 Halise for practice in a day, just because it's kind of a different, you'll never shoot more than 30 really at a competition. Yeah. So I think for practice, I usually go out and shoot around 30, maybe 40, or I'll go shoot 15 or 20, and then I go shoot trap or bunker trap or skeet or whatever I'm kind of shooting that day. So there definitely is a price difference, but you're also not shooting quite the volume that you normally do with sporting too.
So you felt like it was an easy transition to go over?
I definitely think so. I started shooting it, I guess, my 8th grade year, and just kind of did it for fun. And at that time, I was shooting a lot of NSCA with my dad, and was like, wow, like this is a lot of fun to get to go, and it's just very different. And I really liked how it was different every time. That's a lot of why I loved 5-stand, because, I mean, it's the same targets, but you're kind of getting to move, whereas sporting, you go to a station and it's, okay, you're going to shoot 6 or 8 of the same targets. But this
sporting was that was my jam.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I loved it. And I still love shooting it now, but I definitely have really gotten to, I mean, fall in love with Halise, and just the people there are also really awesome.
Okay. So are you in college somewhere?
Yes. I go to Baylor University.
You are not venturing far from home at all, are you?
No, it's only about 2 hours.
So are you shooting at school?
Yes, I am. They're kind of starting a team. So Baylor doesn't have like a big established team yet, but I'm kind of just doing it independently. So I go and there's a small trap and ski club in Waco. So I just go and shoot a lot of trap to practice. And I mean, I'm 2 hours, if not less, from home. So I also get to come home and shoot here, and I can go back on the same day and I'll shoot some Halise, or a lot of the times I just have a shoot. So I just kind of drive straight to the shoot from Baylor, or if home's on the way, then I'll stop.
Well, I don't know about how it's working out for you in communications of getting that going. But from the outside looking in, if anybody listening has connections at Baylor, somebody needs to tell them they need to take advantage of the fact that Macie's there. Like, they would just shoot like to the top with their team. What are they dragging their feet?
Well, I mean, they have their team. There's a couple people I have gotten to meet through the team, and I mean, they are working and they're practicing, but a lot of the time it's really difficult just with, I take a lot of hours at school, and then I'm also in a sorority, and then also with Halise shooting. So it's kind of like if one of those three things.
Sold out to Halise. Like, that's
yes.
your thing.
Yes, definitely.
My dad was so smart, because that's what I said about Tater. I was like, if we can train her up in this, she could be one of the leading shooters in it, because everybody's going the traditional way, but she's so young. So I love that he saw that opportunity for you and let you just run with it.
Yes, it was. I mean, because he shot forever. That's how I got into it. Was with my dad, and I mean, I was 3 and going out to the gun range with him, and I would sit there and pull targets for him. My mom and my sister showed horses at the time, so they would go out and show
Oh my
horses,
gosh, we have
and
the same life.
and then my dad was. I mean, it's just me and my sister. So then my dad would take me to the gun range, and he always jokes now that as long as I had snacks, I was good for the whole day. So
Yeah.
he would pack me a snack box with, whatever snacks I wanted, and I would sit there all day and pull for him. And then he always just kind of told me that I would beg to, when can I shoot? When can I shoot? And when you're 3, that's not really quite
Right.
the age. So once I got a little bit older, I started competing, or I started shooting for fun with him and really loved it. And then we started competing, and that was just kind of how it from there. But he saw how much I loved Talise, and so that's just kind of what we stuck with, and have definitely gotten to just get to shoot everywhere for it.
When I was training and just learning, Tater was 3.
Oh, sweet.
And so it was so funny because we still shoot with my coach. Like, we talk to him every single day. He's coaching her through SCTP. Like, it's so much fun to have this next, like, whole new experience with him. But when she was 3, she'd be like, "Oh, stop!" She'd sit on the back seat, in the cart, and she'd be like, "I dropped my binky," or like, crazy. And I'm like, how in the world did I ever get through training with a 3-year-old? So I think about your dad's just like sitting you there, with a box, and it is really funny how we just figure it out. But when she started hounding about, she wanted to shoot. I let her start with an empty BB gun.
Okay.
And I was like, when you stop shooting that or pointing that BB gun at us, then you can have a BB. Because they're so little, like they can't help
Right.
but
They
just
don't.
point, like
Right.
not that she was actually like shooting towards us, but she would sweep us from time to time, and I'm like, I'm like, that's what we're working on. And so she was in a safe place to learn. Like we knew she was safe,
Right.
and we shoot at this like old school kind of redneck club, so we had such full support there. And now the team that she shoots on is out of that club.
Oh, it's like a whole full circle moment.
Yeah,
That's
it really
sweet.
is. And I used to preach about this all the time. It's like the best place to raise your kids is in the outdoors with these outdoor organizations. I don't know if you guys do any hunting, but we've done things with Ducks Unlimited and Delta Waterfowl and Quail Forever and Pheasants Forever, SCI. And my kids have such a cool life because of our friends in the industry. And I felt like that with SCTP too. I was like, man, all these kids are coming up to me like, we want to go hunting, we want to go hunting. So now I'm going to host a hunter safety course for like our team.
Oh, that's
I'm like, they
awesome.
offer quail hunts at our club and nobody's taking advantage of it.
Right. That's really cool. That's what I think is so we don't really, I mean, me and my dad don't hunt really. Honestly, a lot of our time is taken up with just hilly shooting and practice. But that is really sweet that, kind of teaching, like, it's not, I think that that's another, like, misconception too, like, with my friends and stuff. And I was like, it's not a scary thing at all. Like, it's a really fun thing as long as,
Yeah.
like, the most important, when you're safe, it's not, I mean, scary at all. And so even some of my friends that have never grown up around guns or never shot, they're like, wait, this is fun. Like, this isn't scary. And I was like, no, it's just, I mean, it's another sport. You just have to be safe with it.
I
So,
know we show up and there's 400 kids walking around, all have guns. And it's really like a safe place because you could have a $500 gun or you could have like a $15,000 gun in every cart. Like you just never know. So
right,
everybody just pulls up to the club, leaves all their junk there. Probably every single truck in the parking lot's unlocked. And it's
right,
just like, how do you get this many people in one place outside of church, right? These many people in one place, all for the same good, supporting each other, no matter what jersey they have on. And I'm with you. I'm like, I've never felt unsafe or like I've never had any of those scenarios. And these kids, they take it so serious. Like not only do they want to be safe and they practice all the safety rules, but they want to be good, and that takes so much discipline.
right.
It blows my mind. It really does. I'm just obsessed with it. And I'm not coaching or anything. I come into that world just as mom.
That's sweet too.
Now I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be the fundraising queen for this. I don't want any of these kids not to get to continue what they love to do and be part of this amazing influence because of financial lack.
Right. I think that's, I mean, SCTP is the whole reason that I kind of got into it. And, I shot a lot of skeet trap and sporting. And that was really, sporting was definitely my favorite. I used to not like skeet at all. But it definitely, I mean, that was kind of my, first step or leg in, I guess. And, it was really sweet. I think I was in the intermediate advanced, if that's what they're still calling it. And I remember, yes, I
Eighth grade.
remember. Yes.
Hmm.
Getting my first trophy, I had a shoot off for trap, and it was my first time ever tying. And I walked up there and had a shoot off, and I was so excited. And I remember getting to come home with like my first trophy, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is what I want to do. And so it
Yeah.
definitely kind of, I love how they give lots of different opportunities to keep like the kids engaged. And I mean, that's how I fell in love with it. So.
Oh, those award ceremonies take forever. They do recognize everybody. So every game that we play over the weekend or in one day will have a men's first, second, and third, a ladies first, second, and third, a team first, second, and third, an HOA. Like it goes through everything. And you're right,
Everything.
they do want it, but it's amazing to see everybody come into the pavilion after the day, waiting on all the shoot offs. Oh my gosh, or waiting on everybody to input the scores so that we can
Right.
figure out what you finally go through this long day of shooting, and then we're like waiting 2 hours for awards to start. It's at least another hour and a half of awards. But to see those kids stand on the podiums, so one of the clubs down here built the actual podiums like you guys have it,
Okay.
like your big shoots. So all the kids, like we travel it around, to all the SCTP tournaments, and the kids get to stand on the podiums and stuff, and they're just so proud.
That's sweet. That's really
Yeah.
sweet.
So, what is the biggest accomplishment that you think you've achieved through shooting?
Like awards for shooting or just like
What are
what
you
I'm
proud of?
um I definitely am most proud of my last world shoot in Egypt. That was my second international world competition. And I was able to win ladies world champion, and then I was able to win second overall in the open category.
So, how did you find your way on that team?
Um like the what do you mean by that?
Like, how did you get to shoot world, like on that world
Okay.
record?
Yes. Anyone can go to the world competition. So anyone can go and enter, but throughout the year they have like, I mean, each shoot kind of works towards Team USA points. And so throughout the year I was able to make Team USA. So then me and two other ladies got to go and shoot for Team USA over there. And so that was just kind of, I didn't get to go the year before for Worlds, just it was my freshman year of college and a lot to handle. So I was really excited to get to go to my second world competition to Egypt and to get to go compete over there and to get to compete for Team USA for the ladies. It was really, really awesome.
And your pictures are so cute. I was like, that is the classiest girl in
Thank
swimming.
you.
It was
Thank you.
so cute.
Thank you.
And I love that because there is a time and a place, like, um, for just leggings and tennis shoes and all that. Like, I get it. But I love the wing shooting world because I love a side by side and I like all of the frills, and I'm a hoarder of all the ruffle shirts. And all the things. And so when I saw your pictures, I was like, she gets this.
I usually, it really, most of the times when I shoot over here, it's just athletic shorts,
Yeah.
and I shoot in almost the exact same thing every time, but it's my athletic shorts, and then I love to shoot in my, like, just little shirts. But over there, they have a rule where, you have to have correct length pants on because it falls under FETASC rules.
Okay.
And so I just did not want to wear shorts to my knees, so I was like, I'll just, go ahead and wear the long pants. And we were in Egypt too, so honestly, it wasn't too hot. So I just kind of that's usually for the international competitions, I dress kind of differently than I do here just to make sure I'm following the rules. But
How does 3-year-old Macie, sitting around pulling for her dad, dream about winning something at that level?
I think that 3-year-old Macie, or even when I first started, 8-year-old Macie would have just been super surprised. I think that was always kind of in my mind. Like I would see even the small NSCA shoots, like the older girls, or even just the, the big winners for the weekend. And I always was like, man, like that is so cool. Like that's what I want to do. So I think just being able to go, and especially, I mean, my dad and I are super close from shooting, and my dad getting to be there and just seeing how close we are. And so I think 3-year-old Macie would be ecstatic and really over the moon for how I did.
I believe this is my future, huh?
Yes, definitely.
So I would say probably one of my favorite topics. Like we can talk about techniques because I just want to pick your brain about all the things.
Yeah.
And I do this with all the kids at our tournaments, and it is just so much fun to see how the game evolves and how these kids approach mental management and how they approach competition. Because I was trained professionally through that program, right? And it seems like these kids it just comes so natural to them now. And maybe it's because I started in my 30s and you guys are starting so young that, there's a different perspective, I guess, coming into the game. And so like your dad coached you the whole time, like you never went to a professional coach, we'll say, that's, that's their job because of their own reputation. Did you follow somebody's system? Like, how did you get this solid foundation that has taken you to the top?
Yeah. I started out I had taken a couple lessons. Mr. Niederer from Fossil Point, that's where the team was out of. So I had kind of taken some lessons with him when I was younger. And then really my dad honestly coached me through almost everything. I took another lesson from right when I kind of started shooting Halise, just to kind of get the fundamentals of, hold point and what to expect, and just kind of a couple little things. So I took a lesson from someone I still shoot with now. He's a big shooter in the Halise world. But really, my dad just kind of coached me through everything. And he knows me super well. And so he can kind of tell just watching me shoot. And so, he was the one that was really kind of telling me, okay, like, this is what you're doing and this is where we need to kind of go and fix it. And, he really
love this.
Yes. Him and I,
The reason why I think it's so powerful that people hear this is because there are people that can't afford $500 a lesson or an hour with a
right.
minimum of 2 lessons or like whatever it is, And it's really funny because our coach, he calls himself like the old guy, and he's just a numbers genius. He had a whole nother career. He's just a really good shooter. Sounds a lot like your dad. Kind of came up with his own system. And he's pretty well known in our little area of being a good instructor to get people started. But especially in the SCTP here, we have all the big names here in Georgia. So everybody kind of floods to them. And I got that a lot with Tater this year, where people would come up to me and say, man, like, she's so good. Like, she's got so much potential. You really need to get her in with so-and-so. And I'm so quick to defend him.
Right. You're like, no, this is working.
So, like, and then I would get really sassy about my own career and like start spitting facts because of the things that I achieved through his program. So I love the fact that you can say, like, my daddy taught me what he knows and it took me to the top.
Yeah, definitely. Him and I kind of have a joke now, even for a little bit. If I would miss a target, I would turn around and he'd be like, Macie, you know what you're doing. Like, you don't need to ask me. So for a little bit, it kind of got it. Just if I was shooting poorly or was having an off day or something, I would turn around and he was like, Macie, like, turn back around. Like, you know what you're doing wrong. Like, you don't need my help. So it's really sweet. And even now, I still, if I'm having a bad day or I'm feeling like something's wrong with my gun, that's always, my dad always knows the answer. I joke. So it's really sweet.
It is a special relationship, and there's a place. Some people just aren't fortunate enough to have a mentor like we've had in our lives, because he's definitely become an adopted dad for me. He's been there through every step of my career, starting in sporting clays. And so I love that. I love that you just have this like little private special life, of how you gained your skills and stuff. But on the mental management side, was that just a gift that you had, that you could just stay in the game, that you could just turn everything off, that you could just stay focused that hard? Because Tater understands a lot of the technicality issues that she has when she's in the box. But I will say, like, the thing is getting her into hard focus. And I didn't want to wreck her, right? When we're walking from station to station. So I'm like, can you count the rings? Like, do you remember where that bird was? Did you see it? So now we're really focused for her, like, touch the target. Make sure you touch the target. If you have the right sight picture at the wrong time, you're not going to hit it. So you got to touch the target and set your timing. And, man, she struggled with that all year. And it was like state came along and it all clicked and then it was over.
Right. I definitely think, it did not, I think, come naturally. I always, whenever I was younger shooting, I don't really think that I had like a big, I was just like, okay, like focus on the target at the time. But like while I was in between shooting, it was, talking. And I think that that's even now. I know that I've kind of grown up with being around a lot of distraction shooting. Like whenever me and, my dad and his friends, we would all go shoot, then it was kind of like, we're all messing with each other or talking while you're shooting, which I think is definitely a good thing to kind of help me not get distracted. But I think that really like a lot of the focus and kind of, drive, I guess, while I was going really was in the last couple of years. And I think that's just through even learning from other people and asking other people that I shoot with and asking my dad and kind of seeing what works and what didn't work. And so now I feel like I have a pretty like, okay, this is my routine that I go through right before I shoot. So definitely just like consistency and knowing that
routine. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely has changed and it used to be way longer and then it used to be way shorter. And so just kind of really, I always say that I try and think of like nothing in my head while I'm shooting. Just to absolutely think of nothing when I'm going up there except like, okay, like, go up there and keep my head on the gun and look for the target and call pull. And that's kind of what I think of every time before and making sure that is my gun on my shoulder? Okay, I can see down the barrel well. Okay, like I'm ready to shoot. Kind of is what's going through my head, I guess. But definitely in the last couple of years is where I really was able to kind of block out other things while I was thinking or while I was shooting.
Wow. We I went through the Lenny Basson program, which I think he's in Texas actually, and he's known for coaching a lot of golfers. So when I first started shooting with Demas, I had to read the book. And then a few years later, my oldest daughter showed horses, and she was highly competitive in that. And so we were like Virginia to Oklahoma kind of span of showing. And he came out with Parenting Champions. And I read that book, and I'm like, I never thought that shooting sports would change the way that I parent. But it did. It made, that book made me change the way that I communicated. And so every single thing that I started saying to her, I was so cognizant to make sure that I was building her self-confidence and her self-image within herself, and not this. And this is what your dad was doing with you too. When you turn around and look at him for reinforcement, and he's like,
Right.
no, you've got it, and that was the whole thing, is like, he wanted you to believe in yourself.
Right.
Not that he didn't want to help you.
Right,
And
exactly.
so, yeah. And so it was like, and it taught me to speak to her that way, so that when she went into the pen, there was no helping. Like, we might get lucky and get to stand on the sideline, but she'd have to go a whole nother lap before I might get to say something that she could understand as she,
Right.
reply. So, I loved that book. And now that Tater's where she is, I'm probably going to read it again, because it's been about 10 years since I read it. And just make sure that I am making the most out of that, because I saw what it did for my life in that transition in my 30s to get into shooting, to understand, like, it's you against the world. Yeah, sometimes you do get to shoot on a team, but like, you're competing against yourself when you go in there. Like, you want to do your best, and you know what you've practiced for, you know what you've invested for. You have a realistic goal of things that you can achieve, which I don't know when you said, okay, I'm going to go achieve the world, but you did it. And it's the whole thing. And it's like, there's nothing in this world that you can't do, because you've already proven it at your age, and you're like going to school, like you have your whole life ahead of you, but you've already proven to yourself that you can do it on your own.
Yeah. I think that, a lot of my dad just kind of the same thing of, instilling confidence. And he would always tell me, he's like, okay, like, that they cannot, he always used to tell me, like, they cannot throw a target that you haven't hit or that you can't hit. It's just a matter of like going up there and being like, okay, like I can. And definitely, I think at Worlds, I really, really saw that. And just not, I guess, for lack of a better term, like not being surprised that I did well. In the sense,
Yes.
like going up there and being like,
I
okay,
love
like I know
that.
I
Say that
can.
one more time.
Just not being surprised that like I did well in the
Yeah.
sense of like not like, oh, I can do this, like I know I can, but being like, okay, like, you know, I practice, like I know I can hit these targets. It's just a matter of like being focused. Which I think, I mean, my dad definitely was always like me, like, you know that you can. It's just a matter of like staying focused and just shooting like how you shoot for practice. Like, you know
Yeah.
that that you can do it. So I
That's
think that my dad
like,
definitely,
I don't care where you go in the world, there's only three types of targets. You know,
right.
it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter the distance. The distance don't make it harder. You just make the adjustment.
Yes, definitely. And I
And
think too, my mom.
that would debunk. Like that is a controversial thing that we just both agreed on. But it is true. Your dad is so right. There are three types of targets.
Right. Well, even my mom jokes too. My mom doesn't shoot, but I mean, she spectates all the time and travels with us. And so, I mean, she knows a lot about it just from watching. And even sometimes she's like, you know, like you got to hit it. And I'm like, you know, thank you. Like, that is true. Like, that's all you have to do. And so she and I, when we walk together after shooting, we kind of will sit there and talk and joke back and forth. And if I'm upset that I miss one, she was like, well, like, all you can do is go hit the next one. And I'm like, okay, like, you're right. Like, sometimes it's not some big, you know, oh, I did this and this. And she's like, you just have to go hit it. And so I always kind of appreciate her, you know, whether she's joking or being serious, just like,
Yeah.
you know, you just have to go.
Two targets at a time, most of the time in our games, you know, two targets at
Right.
a time. When you step out of the box, you leave it because you've got
Hmm.
something coming up. Like, don't
Right.
take any negative things with us. And she
Yes.
has ran some stations, but not a lot. I mean, her first year, you know, man, I was so nervous when we went to the Meadows for the first time. And that's where Kevin DeMichael is the pro there.
Okay.
And they have always had, they're south of Atlanta, and they've always had this huge reputation of big, big targets. And that was the location where I won state. And it was the first time that I had been back there since then. And it was this year for Tater's tournament. And I could feel myself get nervous. And I'm like, why am I even nervous? Like, I'm done, you know? And I was so nervous for her. And I had to like chill myself out because
Yes.
I'm like, you could see this completely different than I did, you know? Like
Right.
the things that I was dealing with, my insecurities or whatever, she doesn't have those, you
Right.
know? And it was so funny because I was like, man, I just remember having my redneck field gun, field chokes, and all those men like judging me, and the only thing I wanted to do was beat them. Like I'm sure you know how that feels. And then here's my kid gets to shoot in groups with her cute little girlfriends, and everybody's like cheering each other on,
Right.
and I'm like, things have changed so much. And so it was so funny because I remember driving up and I'm like, I cannot let her feel what I'm feeling because of my history. And it was such a great, you know, outcome there. But I just remember like, man, the Meadows and their big field tournament so far. Yeah, it was so funny. But it is great. Like I just love that you get to have this life with your dad and then you get to
Yes.
share it. So the thing that I told Madison when she started winning, like, she is so quiet and she never toots her own horn. And I was like, listen, like, you've got to put yourself out there because the things that you're doing, there are kids coming up, because I've got Tater, right? Like, there are kids coming up that need to know how you got there and what you've accomplished because they have goals, but they don't even know what to do with it. And so having that leadership, I didn't do it. I mean, I never paused a second to talk about the things that I accomplished. However, I do keep my trophies displayed because of the journey.
Right.
We remembered the grind. It wasn't like nobody celebrated anything in the world that I competed in, but I remembered the grind, those 4 o'clock mornings and building a dog for 2 years before you get to go and like all the things. So like I always keep that out because it reminds you can do anything.
Right.
So I suggest that you do a little bit more, go on lives, show us what's going on in your life. Have a little kid that is going to think that you hung the moon. And there's so much opportunity now that there wasn't 10 years ago, when it's like,
Right.
you've earned your place.
Thank
There's
you.
no proving left for you to do.
Thank
So
you.
it's just to celebrate you and just set new goals and push those limits, because
Yeah.
you've been in the most exciting part, I think, of shooting history, and you may not even know it.
I mean, I guess just what, like the new, what do you mean, like the most exciting part? Like
Growth,
the,
like the growth for female participation, the growth
right.
for games, the growth for recognition, the growth of numbers of kids being involved. There's just
Yeah.
so much.
It definitely, I mean, we've talked about that. Even just Halise has grown so much from when I first started. And so it is really, I've
Mhm.
kind of grown with it, gotten to grow up, I guess, with it while it grows,
Yeah.
which is really cool. That is true.
You might be an old lady one day and everybody's like, will you come and do a Halise tour and tell us about the good old days?
Right, right. First.
You never know.
I hope so. I hope to shoot and keep doing it till I'm an old lady. So,
So what are you going to school for so we can map out your future?
yes. My major is child and family studies, and then my minor is in religion.
So what are you
So
going to do with that?
that is such a good question. I change my mind all the time. I really think I have like two separate career paths. I actually have an internship this summer with an organization called CASA, which it stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. So I get to work with them and kind of see how they work with kids and just get to help kids with advocacy and children that are in the foster care system or being adopted or just lots of different things. And so I really love that and getting to help out there and just see why what they do is so important. So that would be awesome. Or even like marriage and family therapy is something I'm interested in. Or if like something in the shooting industry was open, I would really love to do that. Those are definitely like the two things I'm really passionate
Yeah.
about.
You go create it. Create it. Like, that's what
Yes,
I'm saying. Like, you
that's
have to know who you are and you just go create it. You need to watch the old school movie, Build It and They Will Come. You have
okay.
done you have laid the foundation.
So that would definitely be really cool. An opportunity just get to work and shoot and do what I love to. So honestly, either of those two things I really do love. So I would be happy in whichever, just kind of what opportunity comes up. I'll graduate next May. So just kind of what opportunity comes
Oh,
up.
it's coming. Like, you're gonna
Yes.
have to make a decision. Wow.
Yes.
So what's your next shooting goal?
Um, I am going to go to or not to Sicily. Sicily was one of the other world competitions to Getty, Italy in September for the 2025 World Shoot. So I'm hoping to just do really well there again. I think that that's kind of looking forward what I'm kind of looking at. I've recently started to shoot bunker trap, just kind of here and there, and so I really
Maybe like
have
you're
been
gonna shoot for the Olympics?
I don't know. I've really been enjoying it. It's really, I mean, it's right next to the Halise field of Dallas. So usually I go shoot my Halise and then that's just been within the last month or two. So if an opportunity arose there, that'd be really awesome too. But definitely just kind of looking towards Worlds. I just had Nationals. So just kind of getting to be home for the summer and practice and shoot and kind of looking forward to that. So.
Well, I'm going to extend invitation for you to join me this hunting season.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Because I would love to get you out on a hunt with me and just
Yes. I've never really been hunting.
You've never been?
No, I've kind of seen, I just have never gone myself.
Then we're going.
Okay, that sounds great.
And I will send you all of our schedules so if your dad can get away and he wants to tag along, or if we just want to do like I got to do an iconic thing last year in Texas where we were, I don't know, I guess I can claim this out loud. We were on the Chevron oil field
Okay.
shooting dove. And I was like,
Okay.
this seems like so, I don't know, like fancy. I mean, even though it's super fancy, it's not like
Right.
a driven shoot kind of thing, but it just felt special. It might be normal, but for this Georgia girl, I was like, man, this was cool. Like,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that was really awesome. So we can set up something like that. We can go on a dove shoot or
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, it always has just kind of been Halise shooting or sporting, so that'd be awesome to get to go on it.
done deal. Starts in
Definitely.
September.
Okay, perfect. I'll be back mid-September, so after that, then they should be good. Yeah.
You guys, I think we have found America's shooting sweetheart. I hope you guys follow Macie Page and her exciting adventures
Thank
shooting,
you.
and we're cheering you on. So
Thank
anything
you
that we
so
can help
much.
you just shout out and let us know.
Yes, I definitely will. Thank you.
Breaking as I leave this sleepy town. The sun is slowly rising and the fog is on the ground.